The first exercise is the bird dog, and starting off I'm showing the regression of this exercise where you're going to start in a quadruped position, brace your core, keeping your spine and head in a neutral position, and extend one arm forward at a time. This is a regression because it's going to help you build the muscle and gain the control and balance you need to perform the traditional bird dog. This is the bird dog where you're going to extend the opposite leg to arm, holding the same position as you did in the previous exercise. This is more difficult because you have less limbs on the ground, making it harder to balance. The progression of this exercise is a plank bird dog, where you're going to be in plank position and you're going to do the same thing as the original bird dog. This is more difficult because, as you can see, it's harder to hold your balance. The next exercise is an anti-rotational exercise, and it's the plank. Starting with the regression, you're going to be on your knees with your hands directly below your shoulders, bracing your core. Moving on to the plank, you're going to lift your legs up so you are in a push-up position, and this makes it harder because your body works as a lever. Moving on to the progression, you're going to do a pull through, so bracing your core, trying not to rotate your body, which clearly I'm struggling with. You are going to grab the weight and pull it to the other side of your body, trying to maintain balance as best you can.
Done.
Okay. The next exercise is going to be a squat. This is a knee-dominant bilateral exercise, and starting with the regression, it's going to be a box squat. So you're going to squat down until your butt reaches the box, offering you some feedback, making sure you keep your heels on the ground and maintaining your core. Next is going to be the regular squat, which is the original version of this exercise, where you're not going to have the box as feedback, making it more difficult. Moving on is going to be the jump squat, where you're going to use your arms to push you up until you are jumping, making it more explosive, making a progression of the exercise. Next is the Romanian deadlifts, where you're going to be holding 2 dumbbells, keeping a neutral back and a neutral head, engaging your core. You're going to hinge at the hips, making it a hip-dominant exercise, and until you feel a pull in your hamstrings, and then return to the upright position, making sure you lock your glutes in at the top. Next exercise is going to be the single leg RDL, which you are going to execute in the same way as the regular RDL, only on one leg, forcing you to use your adductors, and it's going to challenge your balance a little more. And a progression of that is going to be an offset single leg Romanian deadlift, where you're going to hold the dumbbell only in one hand, making it harder because you're not only going to have to balance, but the offset weight is going to make it more challenging. The next exercise is going to be the TRX row. This is a horizontal pull exercise where you're going to stand in a supine position and engage your core, keeping your spine and head neutral. And you're going to pull yourself up to your full range of motion and then lower yourself back down until your arms are straight, keeping a slight bend in your knees. To regress this exercise, you're going to be standing in a more upright position, which is going to make this more vertical exercise. And because your body's using less of a lever, it's going to make it less weight and make it easier ultimately. To make it harder, you're going to lower the angle of your body so that you are more horizontal towards the ground, which is going to add more weight, making this exercise more difficult. The next exercise is going to be the bench press, where you're going to lie in a supine position on the bench, and you're going to dig your heels into the ground, engage your core, trying to keep no space between your lower back and the bench, and you're going to hold the dumbbells, lower your arms down until they're horizontal with the floor, and then lift them. A regression of this exercise is going to be a floor press, where you're going to lay down on the floor in a supine position and do the same thing, but the ground is going to offer more feedback, not only for your back, but for your arms, so you know what range of motion to go through. A progression of this exercise is going to be a Swiss ball bench press, where you're going to be in basically a glute bridge position on a Swiss ball, and you're going to complete the exercise as before. This makes it harder because you have to stabilize yourself more being on the Swiss ball, since it is not a stable surface.
Stop.